Alright, let's unbox some Azub bikes. This box is very light, so it must contain, I'm not sure what, 2 bikes, 3 boxes. The idea is that these are travel bikes eventually, which would be, maybe you'd say, well, why do they need so many boxes? But I'm sure it's shipped more or less ready to ride, since that's the way you want to ship a product to most people who aren't going to want to do a lot of assembly. And then we have here some seats. Yep, 1 seat, 2 seats, and the racks. Oh, that's good, the racks aren't on, so we can get a weight without racks and without seats. I will say, these seats, they've got the Ventasit on them, but these seats with the Ventasit are not light. Ventasit, this is the 3-ply, and that is not a light seat pad. It's very comfy, but it's not light. That's the large seat on top there. We were right on the cusp of the two of us between the seat sizes, but we're also having somebody fabricate some other stuff. You know what? These 2 racks are light. Jeez. I'm gonna go get my brewing scale. All right, the way I often weigh stuff is with this food/brewing scale, and I need the big bowl to keep it up off the ground sometimes. So we'll zero it and turn it on, and it'll zero there. All right, so you got the standard rack, which is this one, and the expedition rack, which is that one, still wrapped in bubble wrap, and they go, get them to balance. There you go. 1,712 grams. So I'm going to guess somewhere around 60 ounces, 1,700 grams. There we go. I couldn't see the colon there. 3 pounds, 12.4. All right. I'm going kooky here. Maybe that thing needs a new battery. So that's not bad for 2 racks. 2 really sturdy racks. All right. We still got some packaging material on here, but this is a medium fiberglass seat with Ventasit pad. That thing's heavy. I'm going to say that thing weighs 5 pounds. 5 pounds, 5 ounces, 2,400 grams. The large. Or maybe the medium? 2366. Maybe we got some packing material difference. We might have to strip those bare. We're weighing the bikes, so this is as sophisticated as we're going to get. Beautiful pink accent scale, lovely yellow Crocs. Me weighing myself, and weighing myself with bike. Wow, I'm not weighing so much today. 155.8 pounds. And we'll see what happens with the bikes when we get those out. Alright, let's choose this one on the end. We'll see if it's the pink one, which belongs to the wife, or the yellow one, which belongs to me. These are are very nicely packed with some nice copper staples that you could rip yourself up and on if you're not paying attention. Okay, jackpot. That is a yellow bike, and here is a packing list. You can see everything is very nicely packed with big chunks of foam and everything. So I don't even know where to begin with taking things out. I got a little bit of box crud on my zip ties everywhere. And oh man, looks like, yeah, things are well put together. All right. No, I'm not going to try to salvage these. Just going to try to be careful not to scratch any chunks of bicycle while I am taking things apart. What do we have here? Some fenders. Okay. This is a rear fender and a wheel. And feels pretty beefy, so I'm guessing that's the roll-off wheel, and it is. Well, you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's see what the roll-off wheel and the rear fender weigh. With a little bit of packing material on them. Barely read it. Can't read it. I'm just going to kind of balance it on here. 30, let's call it 4,000 grams. That's a roll-off rear wheel and the roll-off and the rear wheel fender. That's also with the Schwalbe Marathon Plus on it, which is not a light tire. He put a Marathon Racer on there and it'll weigh half as much. So that means this is going to be the boom, front boom, and crank set, no pedals. Geez, is the light on there? The wires are there. Okay, the light is not, but the wires are there. So that's front boom with wires and crank set. $16.80. So it's a little less put together than I thought, but that's okay. Oop, here's a, looks like the thing got banged a little on the rear brake. Box got a little squeezed. Here we've got a front wheel. That is a Schwalbe Marathon Plus 47406 and a sewn dynamo hub. Let's just there you go. 2180 with packing material. Right, what's next? We've got here the rest of the bike, just all covered up. So, frame. Geez, that feels lighter than I thought. I'm losing a. We've got a tube down. We're gonna weigh this one. Was 155.8. Let's weigh the frame just for fun. Frame and fork and so forth. 175.4. So less than 20 pounds for the frame, fork, front fender, brakes, and all of that. So that's all the suspension and everything. So that's not bad. And that's still with all this packing material. All right. Well, I think it is time to move this show into the garage where I can put the bike in the stand and put her together. That's kind of heavy. I'm guessing that's a bag of chains. So we're gonna move this party into the garage where there is air conditioning. I really can't get over how light those racks actually feel. I was thinking of making a main rear rack out of carbon fiber just for fun, but I don't actually see the point. It's not going to save much weight over that. So let's put some of this stuff in there and move some of this other stuff in. The biggest areas where you could lose some weight on this if you were concerned would be the seat. Go to a carbon fiber seat from Thor, thorseat.eu. You could probably lose a pound at least. He makes light seats and they're very strong. I've got one. So it's on this Volet right here. And then if you are not dying of sweat, which is why I have these nice Venticid pads, you can actually make a 2-layer seat out of this camping foam type material. This is some lighter weight stuff. I made a no-com seat that was out of that stuff that weighed like 80 grams for the whole thing. So you could make one that was thicker and softer that would weigh 150 grams. And you'd easily take a pound off versus that Venticid, maybe more. So between the seat and the pad, you could lose 2 pounds on this bike if you really wanted to. Rigid fork, carbon fiber, you'd also lose a pound or a pound and a half. I'm not really all that worried about it, but I know some people weight weenie. Let's haul this stuff in. We are in unpacking mode here. Bike in the stand, in the ever so fancy bike workshop. Right. Man, there's a fly in here. That won't drive me crazy. That won't make me crazy at all. So that was good. They had the derailleur mount a little bit extra. Wow, this is cool. This is like a, it feels like a composite derailleur mount with a metal sleeve in there. That actually sheds some weight and probably makes it a little easier to deal with. So that's actually something I did not expect. Save all this stuff. There we go. Nice graphics. Here's our sliding idler. Oh, that's littler than everything. Looks smaller than I expected. You look at it online forever, and I don't know, things start to look big. go. This is the Roloff shifting device. I've never put one of those on. I've read about how to do it, but I've never done it. So I guess today we'll find out if I remember. A bit of green stuff there. Not sure what that is. Okay. Let's get this steering. This is the above seat steering, which is abbreviated in the best high score circa 1980s on a video game fashion of ass. Ass, it's funny because it's a bad word. And it's moving in there. So maybe this is super tight. I don't know. Ooh, sticky stuff. There's a boom. Let's grab the M5 here and see if this needs a little bit of a loosen. Maybe. Oh, that feels tight. Need some smacking on there. It sounded worse than it was. Yeah, that was just super tightened. It sounded like something was breaking. My scrotum clenched up a little bit on me there. I'm sure yours did too. If you've got a scrotum. If you don't, be glad. There's nothing to recommend them. And that is, okay, we're going to need like, that feels about like an M4. 5 Newton meters. What am I? A torque wrench? The answer is no, I'm not. Which would be better if I were, because in my day I have messed up plenty of pinch bolts. Alright, what do we got going on here now? This doesn't want to turn because we got some this still there. Should really have a program where for an extra $50 you could get the thing like pre-scuffed and slightly dented and everything, so that when you pack it to take it on a trip sometime, or you get it and you start riding it, you don't have the agony of messing up the pretty bike on your own. Somebody else, it's already done. It's a great reason to buy a used car. Get one that's already got some scuffs and everything in it that way. You don't feel bad when you put a scuff in it. That's a really stout frame. Jesus, all that tubing that thick? No wonder this thing weighs something. Don't get me wrong, I bought it because it was tough. I know some people are weight weaning about this though, so let's take a look here. I don't recall ever seeing, this is aluminum, I don't recall the grade, but it is the main tube at this point, which I assume is the main tube everywhere else, is 1, 2, 3, more than 3 millimeters. That is stout. That's with a little bit of powder coat on it. So let's just call it 3 millimeters. Geez, yeah. That is some thick, stiff stuff. I'm not worried about accidentally crushing that. All right, so how are we doing here? We got some, so we need to spin all the way this way. That's why, maybe? Let's see, the lockout needs to be on the left, so that's where we are. Okay, so that means this is facing forward. this needs to be spun around. That's why it's looking backwards to me. It's backwards. So that is, I am supposing, for shipping purposes, that is an M5. M5 is sitting down here. It's already loose. Well, that makes things easy. Just need to hold that and get this. Whoops, we're going that way up there too. Slow twist the other way. Let's try that. This needs to go the other way. This stuff has to come. Come on, you. Right. Hold this with the all-powerful groin. Give it up. And there, we're looking mostly straight. We won't straighten it till later. That's good. We got a little cap there on top of a headset nut bolt to keep the water out. So there, we're getting somewhere here. Now we got, that's a cute little fork we got going on here. Oof, are those magnesium dropouts or aluminum? I don't know. Carbon fiber here. Looks like they really sculpted this and changed it over the years. It's a lot less blocky looking than it was. And here, we've got a little fuzz from the box, and here's that rear swing arm. So, all right, we're getting somewhere now. I'm gonna have to put this on fast forward when we get going. Oh, look at that. Let's check out the serial number. In fact, let's get a picture of it so we can put it on the bike registry. Bike index. It'd be tough to sell this bike without somebody figuring it out. You see, they also sent it with the wiring linked back through for us. And oh yeah, here's that hinge they invented for us. Well, for themselves, I suppose, too. But we bugged them, and we were the first ones to get them to say, all right, leave us alone. We'll make you a bike that folds so that you can maybe get into a suitcase. And that's it. I anticipate suitcase ability to involve removing the steering. You know what? In here, it's feeling to me like there's a headlight in there. Like maybe a B&M Luxos UIQ2. I forget which order all those letters go in. Anyway, it's a fancy B&M light that has a very wide and very bright light and a little cache battery, and will therefore USB charge your stuff. If this is that light, I'm going to be surprised, because I thought that light was bigger than that, and I think that is the light. Everything's turning out smaller than I expected. That's what she said. Woo! I wish my wife had been here for that. I'm sure she thinks the exact same thing. As does, of course, Donald Trump's wife. So, here we have the lamp. which is, yeah, looks a little bigger out of the wrapping, oddly enough. But it's about I expected. That'll go on the front, way out here because I have long legs. We'll let it dangle gently. And again, save all this cool stuff for later. I might have to take a break and eat some lunch. I starve. All right. What do we got here? We got some boom here. All right, can anybody on the video help me? Where the hell did I put the snips? Here they are. Oh yeah, there's the Catrikes. They're over there going, wait, are you not going to tour with us anymore? Please don't make us obsolete. I like the trike, but as far as touring goes, there are some drawbacks. One of which is that it's very tough to get it in a hotel room. Another is that on many roads, there's enough paved shoulder to ride a bike, but not a trike. So if you're on a trike, you're either bouncing on rumble strips, where you got one wheel in the gravel, or both. Trikes are also just slower. And not just because they're heavier, there's something else going on. I like the trike, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to prefer this. My expectation is that this thing is in a trike range as far as weight. Hopefully a little lighter, but if it's in the range, that's fine. But it should be more aerodynamic because there's less of it, and I therefore expect it to be faster and then easier to keep on narrow roads. I really want to wreck all this nice wrapping, but I can't seem to. Can't seem to get the sticky seams on all of it, so wow, that's sharp. We had a regular boom tube. I think they all have the tube on it, but that's good. My idea there is that, so if say you're overseas or you're in the middle of nowhere and your roll-off fails on you, and you think, well, I'm never going to get a new roll-off sent to me that quickly. Well, you know what? You can pay someone a couple $100, put a Dior drivetrain on, just have them relace that back wheel, derailleur, and a new crankset up front, and you'll be going. So that is my theory on that. Now we got connectors here and connectors here, which means I'm trying to drop this because that would be a bummer, dude. Connectors there. So we got, go to copper. There they go, guys. Like this. Like this. I don't want to just jam away here. Doesn't feel exactly right, but I might have to look that up just to make sure I don't screw it up. Looks like the wider piece should be on top. fit. And I don't know if either one was wider than the other. Before I go too far, I don't think it matters which side is which on those, but I'm going to look it up just to be sure. Oh, there's a little piece of tape on here which suggests to me that that is where the boom is set for me. While we're at it here, we'll take a look. This is a little Alfine single chainring crank, 170 millimeter length, and a 45 tooth chainring. That'll be a 15 in the back, so the roll-off is going to have a gear range of something like just under 17 gear inches to up to 87 or something. Time for a little lunch for myself to go in there until I unwrap a few things here more. So let's get the steering unwrapped a little bit. Alright. Those brake bars are up maybe a little higher than I'd use them. And the Roloffs Shifter is here. See, it's going there. No spring. Very nice, because you're just twisting one cable against another. I have broken derailleur springs in the past, including on really high-end derailleurs. So that is appreciated. This is the switch and the power output from the light. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, I guess. Oh, look here. It looks like if you want, you can still have under-seat steering on this bike. Which, you know, under-seat steering is comfortable. I'm pretty sure I'm going to prefer this for now, but nice to know there's that option. Oh, well, I've got nice bushings in here. Pinch bolts, boy, they have a pretty good, and I even popped some caps into the rim brake holes there. So they pay attention to details over there at Azub. Here we've got, looks like they made an extra hole up here for fenders, which isn't standard on the frame. So they drilled one well and tapped it out. Good. And there's the kickstand mount area. A bit of sticky stuff on there. Let's take some Goo Gone to this. I need to hire a kid to just come scratch the thing up for me. Wow, it's a pretty bike. Pretty bike already. All right, eat lunch, get going, take out.